channel. In this video, we will be talking about the fifth book of the Harry Potter novel series, which is Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. In the last book, we found out that the Dark Lord has returned and the Ministry has simply refused to accept that the evil is lurking in the shadows. So what is happening now? Since Ministry has refused to accept, Harry is in dilemma that we are not safe, there's a war on the bay and there's nothing happening. Okay, so now Ministry is not doing anything and the Dementors, the guardians of the Azkaban, have joined the evil, that is Lord Voldemort, and now they are on the evil Lord's side. So since they have taken sides, they attack Harry in the Muggle world. So this is a very big incident which has not happened before because Dementors are invisible to the Muggles. So it's a very devastating incident, and the worst is that they also attack Harry's cousin. So if they attack Harry's cousin, his uncle and aunt can simply blame him for what happened. But it was a very difficult situation for Harry to explain his uncle and aunt that it was not Harry who attacked his cousin, it was someone else. But later on they will understand it was not Harry because there was this black hooded creature who attacked. But since now Harry is not safe in the Muggle world anymore, he will be taken to the headquarters of the Order of the Phoenix. In my last video, I told you about what is Order of the Phoenix, but I will just tell you a little bit more. It's basically a secret organization founded by Albus Dumbledore, which is keeping tabs about Lord Voldemort. But when Harry sort of defeated Lord Voldemort a few years back, this organization was deactivated, and now since the Dark Lord is back, it has been reactivated. So Harry is in the headquarters of the Order of the Phoenix, and from there he is being provided some information. Now he's not actually being given the information, he's just sneaking and he's gathering some information by prying or spying, something like that. Okay, so now this was basically what is happening in the Order of the Phoenix. They are keeping tabs about the Dark Lord. What is happening at Hogwarts now? Since the death of Cedric Diggory was a very tragic incident in the whole wizarding world, now the Ministry has interfered in the affairs of Hogwarts. A new defense against the dark arts, Professor Umbridge, I told you before in my last video, is being appointed as a teacher, and she is a very strict and I would say torturous teacher. She torments her students, especially the ones she hates. Okay, now since Harry is, I told you before, he's in dilemma, there's nothing happening in the Ministry, they are simply shrugging off the information they are being provided. So Harry forms an organization of students. I am calling it an organization because they are being properly trained and they are having information. So this organization is called Dumbledores Army, and since the Ministry is not teaching defense against the dark arts properly, Harry becomes the teacher, and this organization together trains how to defend themselves from the Dark Lord. Now, I told, as you might have realized it till now, that it's better to use Draco Malfoy. Draco Malfoy's father is having a very high rank in the Ministry, so Professor Umbridge is having a soft corner for him. And since Draco wants to, has this prestigious position, he is also spying on Harry and his friends so that he can gather a lot of information about them and provide it to Umbridge, because Umbridge suspects something is wrong with this trio and the other students as well. Okay, so the place where these people are training is called the Room of Requirement, and you can't enter unless the room wants or the people inside the room permit you to. And this room is not visible to all of the people of the school. Okay, so now what happens? Draco is not able to enter the room, so they will just plot a trap, and from that trap they get Harry and his friends get caught. But Dumbledore actually saves them and he actually blames himself because the name of the organization was Dumbledores Army. So Dumbledore simply tells Umbridge that since the name is Dumbledore's Army, it was me who asked them to form this organization. Now Umbridge is really angry. She's like, I am like, actually Umbridge thinks very highly of herself, and she is like, I am the headmistress of this place. So she's very angry, and they actually dismiss Dumbledore. Not actually dismiss Dumbledore, just disappears into thin air using the Phoenix. Okay, this was what happened with Dumbledore. So Dumbledore vanished, and he was the main member of the Order. Now, the second member that was in the school was McGonagall, and she was also under Umbridge, so she couldn't be a very nice help to Harry. And the third one was Snape. Now, Snape, who used to hate Harry actually in the beginning, at least, though he turned out to be the hero and all. Okay, so Snape used to dislike Harry. Umbridge liked him, so that is why that Umbridge would trust Snape more than anyone else. And also, Snape was an occlument. I told you before in my last video that occlumency is the art which a very few amount of wizards and witches can master, and the Dark Lord is a legilimate. So if you lie to him, you can get caught, and that is how he keep his followers at check, that he knows when one of his followers is lying or something. So, using legitimacy, you can peep into someone's mind and you can manipulate the thoughts. Not only gather the information you want, you can just send them visions and they can get confused. And that is the reason Dumbledore, wanted Harry to learn this art, but Harry miserably fails. And though Snape's make a lot of attempts to teach Harry, he fails. So this was what happened, which led to the further occurrence of incidents, which took a very, I would say, disastrous turn. Okay, before we move on, I would like to tell you about this prediction which took place. I won't tell you who predicted it, because that is something I think you should read it out on your own. So this was this prediction that said that this particular child, which referred to Harry and Neville, will bring an end to the Dark Lord. What happened was that one of the Death Eaters, listened when this prediction was being made, and he was only able to listen to the part of it. So Dark Lord only knew a part of it, and there was a record of this prediction in the Ministry. Ministry of Magic has record of everything. The time turners have been banned. I don't think so. I told you this in my previous videos, and this is something you should know, that time turners are illegal in the wizarding world. And there are other dark objects which are being kept in the Ministry, but they are forbidden to be used. And one of this was all the predictions that were being made were stored or were preserved in a separate room in the Ministry of Magic. So Voldemort wants that prediction, that prophecy, to find out how he can end Harry, and he can actually, the prophecies are usually true, and he can save himself. And that is why he manipulates Harry's mind. Now Harry is very impulsive and he acts on emotions. Now Sirius Black was his godfather, and he was very, very attached to him because he was the closest thing, or you can relate to as relative. And Dumbledore manipulated Harry's mind. Oh, sorry, not Dumbledore. What am I saying? It's Lord Voldemort manipulated Harry's mind, and Harry thought that Sirius is being tortured by the Dark Lord, and he barges into the Ministry with Ginny, Neville, Luna, and your Ron and Hermione. The trio is always together. So they just barge into the Ministry, and since it was a trap, they get caught, and they are very awfully stuck in there, because everyone is unconscious except Harry, and he's having a very difficult time also fighting the Death Eaters, at the same time protecting his friends. But the Order of the Phoenix saves the day, and they just appear there when Snape gets to know that Harry has done this. And Snape he plays a very important role, a very vital role. He informs Dumbledore that this is taking place, and they just the Order is being organized, and they barge into the Ministry, and they help Harry to fight Lord Voldemort. In the meantime, when all these things are happening, Bellatrix Lestrange uses a killing curse on Sirius Black, and Sirius is dead. which is a very important incident of this book and a very emotional one. In my personal experience, I was actually in tears when I was reading this book, and everyone around me was staring at me like, what the heck is happening with this girl? So I was like, I don't know what I'm facing right now. It's very depressive. The part in which Sirius dies, it's very, very depressive. Okay, now I won't get drift away in my personal opinions. So what happened when Sirius dies? Harry is in agony. He's not able to decipher what is happening around him, and out of enragement, he actually tried to use a Crucius curse on Bellatrix, but again, he's not trained in using these strong curses, these unforgivable curses, and he actually fails in it. Though he was able to hit her ankle, he fails, and at that particular moment, the Dark Lord shows up. Now, Harry is not that much strong to face the Dark Lord, at the same time saving his friends, he's in agony and all. So it was very difficult, but Dumbledore, as usual, saves Harry. He fights off the Dark Lord, and the Dark Lord, actually, Dumbledore is the most powerful wizard in the whole wizarding world. So, of course, he will lose. And this is a very important thing. You should know that the Dark Lord only feared your Dumbledore because he never was able to attack Hogwarts till Dumbledore was alive. Okay, that was a spoiler I actually gave you, but again, let's not talk about that. So what Dumbledore saves Harry, and then Dumbledore actually explains to him that why is that prediction, that prophecy is very important to the Dark Lord, and the Dark Lord will stop at nothing now to get all the information he can gather, organize his army. So they have a war at bay. Though Harry is actually in agony, but this is something he needs to understand. But I forgot to mention one thing, that when all these fight was happening, the Minister of Magic shows up, and the Ministry finally believes that the Dark Lord is back. So this was actually the main turn of events which took place in this book. Though I haven't told you about certain people who made the predictions, I think you should read them on your own. So this was it for this video. In the next video, we will be talking about the Half-Blood Prince. Till then, goodbye.